He said we have to have infrastructure. We have to have electricity lines brought in. We've got to have more water wells dug. We've got to have sanitation. We have to have better sidewalks. Well, it took a long time to finally get the sidewalks, but they're pretty good now. That was kind of on the last of the list. But the sidewalks are pretty decent now. Anyhow, like I say, it has come a long, long way. Well, Wes, what do you got?
All right, I have a song that's written by Jimmy Driftwood that I'm going to sing. It's called I Remember Her Still. It's about a moonshiner's daughter. I called her Billy and she called me Mom. Her lips were sweeter than Tabasco sauce. I thought that someday I would be her mom. But the revenuers made a raid one night. I went over the hill. I've forgotten what she looks like now, but I remember her still. That gal was always sipping where the yaller board kept dripping. I smoke her eyes from a whiskey still. Moonshine running down the moonshine hill. Well, look at her would give my heart a thrill. But the revenuers made a raid one night, and I went over the hill. I've forgotten what she looks like now, but I remember her still. They caught me in Baxter County, and of course she got a bounty. She swore all the liquor belonged to me. They sent me to the penitentiary. One thing I'm gonna tell her when I'm free. But the revenuers made a raid one night, and I went over the hill. I've forgotten what she looks like now, but I remember her still. I've forgotten what she looks like now, but I remember her still.
Is that a true story, Wes?
I don't know. There's a lot of made up stuff up there.
And he was really homesick for Mountain View and mountains and all. And so the story goes that he wrote this next little song because he couldn't hardly wait to get back home again. They'd been on the road for a long time. And so he wrote this little song. And some of his songs are serious, but most of them are fun, just like the one that Wes did. But this one's a little bit more serious, indeed. I dream of a rippling fountain at midnight wherever I go. Someone on the top of the mountain is beckoning me to my home. The songbirds are gay in the wildwood that grows by the rocks and the rill. In beautiful wine river valley, in the shade of the blue mountain hill. The flowers that bloom in the sunlight and fill me with 10,000 thrills. In beautiful wine river valley, in the shade of the blue mountain hill. The mockingbirds sing in the boyard. The pine trees are sighing above. There's no place on earth like the old north, the land that I love. The songbirds are gay in the wildwood that grows by the rocks and the rill. In beautiful wine river valley, in the shade of the blue mountain hill. The flowers that bloom in the sunlight and fill me with 10,000 thrills. In beautiful wine river valley, in the shade of the blue mountain hill.
Daddy, oh dear daddy, I hope that you will moan. Tomorrow I'm gonna marry my true love, Billy Jones. Well, the girl wasn't too happy with this. The daddy wasn't too happy with this, and so he thought a minute and he sang her a song back. And it went like this, in a big, deep voice. Daddy, oh dear daughter, you'll have to find another. You can't marry Billy Jones 'cause he is your half-brother. Woo, that didn't set too well with this young lady, and she thought, well, got to do something else to remedy this, so I'll go way over yonder. And I'll go somewhere my pappy had never been before, and I'll find me a feller over there. So she did. She went over to another town, and Daddy, oh dear daddy, I hope that you won't care, 'cause tomorrow I'm gonna marry my true love, John O'Dare. Well, you guessed it. Old Daddy came back with the same old song. Daughter, oh dear daughter, you'll have to find another. You can't marry John O'Dare 'cause he is your half-brother. Well, at this point, she was really undone, so she went to her mother, and she sang a song to her mother, and it went like this. Mother, oh dear mother, my heart is just undone. Every man I love turns out to be my father's son. Well, her mother was sitting shelling peas, and she thought for a few minutes, and she said, well, I've got an answer for you, hon. And it goes like this. Daughter, oh dear daughter, go ahead and take your vow. It ain't no sin 'cause you ain't no kin to your pappy anyhow.
Well, Jimmy Driftwood was not afraid to venture out and do all kinds of things, and he loved the Buffalo River because, having grown up here, he knew what happened when they dammed up the White River. And lots of people lost their farms and churches and graveyards and towns. Everything went underwater. It was a really big deal. And it changed the river forever. And so when they decided they wanted to dam up the Buffalo River, it would have done the same thing. It would have taken out acres and acres and miles of farmland, made huge lakes and river. So he got involved, and he wrote several songs about our beautiful Ozarks.
Floating on the Buffalo, in the sunset afterglow. There's no place that feels no sun, 'cause heaven where I love to go. Visions of a happy day, wearing hours to while away. There for all these bright days, beautiful Ozarks I see.
Jimmy Driftwood's first big hit was the Battle of New Orleans, and all of a sudden the Grand Ole Opry sat up and took recognition of him, and he had a lot of gold record albums. They went to the top and stayed there, and his second big hit was the Tennessee Stud. Leland.
Arkansas, and then
fringed leather coat, just like Leland here does. Well, Jimmy liked to get his inspiration from right here where he was, and he got a lot of inspiration from the town. And so I don't know if this was something that he witnessed right here on the square or not, but I can just see it on a Saturday, big day, everybody came into town, and I can see this happening. So tell us a little bit about it there, Larry.
I'm gonna do, they got to quit kicking my dog around. I do a little bit different than Jimmy done it. I kind of made up my own lyrics. I might recognize some of these names. Kid G. Once me and West Kent Leland were real, took a load of corn to sell. Jim Buns drove that ornery cuss, he just naturally followed us. As we passed by Bell's country store, some temple boys came through the door. Jim's dog stopped to smell our box, they threw him a bunch of rocks. Every time I go to town, boys keep kicking my dog around. Makes no difference because I'm a hound, gotta quit kicking my dog around. Tied his tin can to his tail, drove him past the city jail. That one naturally made me sore. Westcott and Leland swore. Me and some rack boys around, there's no time in letting them down. Look those boys up on the ground, keep Jim's old town rolled around. Every time I go to town, boys keep kicking my dog around. Makes no difference because I am, gotta quit kicking my dog around. Say the dog came home no grudge, once when I ate too much fudge. Those cowboys tried to do me up, they didn't count on old Jim's buck. Saw his duty there and then, lit into those gentlemen. Chased them around the courthouse square, Janet sang the preacher there. Every time I go to town, boys keep kicking my dog around. Makes no difference if yes I have, gotta keep kicking my dog around. Makes no difference if yes I have, gotta keep kicking my dog around.
I think Jimmy would be so proud, Larry, of your lyrics. I really, really do. Well, that's okay. Building it, and if you've been out to the Folk Center, you know the big theater that's there, and it has this little, comes up to a point, and then there's a little thing that comes up and a little roof on top of that. I think some people might call that a cupola, I'm not sure, but it's a little thing on top. Anyhow, there's this wonderful picture of Jimmy Driftwood sitting on top of that cupola after completing, they had finished the building. And I don't know how he got up there, but they didn't do Photoshop back then. It's a real picture, just a wonderful picture. When they went to Washington, D.C., Chamber of Commerce sent him up there, and they wanted to send him with several members from the Chamber of Commerce. And he said, no, I don't want to do that. I want to take some musicians with me. And the Chamber said, no. We've got these people that are going to go with you, you know, to help you make your presentation. He said, no, I want to take some musicians with me instead. And they said, no, you have to take these people. And he said, no, I don't, I won't go. And they said, okay, you can take the musicians. So they go and they have this big meeting set up with Wilbur Mills, chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, the most powerful committee at that time in Congress. And they get into the big rotunda of the Capitol, and he turns around this group of, I don't know, 6, 7 players from Mountain View, and he said, I want y'all to stay right here and play music while I go meet with the committee. So they said, okay. So they just stayed out there and played in the rotunda of the Capitol and drew a big crowd. Well, when Jimmy went in He didn't have a briefcase. He didn't have a notepad. He had not a scrap of paper on him. And the chamber had given him all these plans and everything. They wanted a grant to do another folk festival here in Mountain View, and they wanted $25,000 to help put it on. The very first folk festival was a flop. And the second one, they asked Jimmy Driftwood if he could help them. And they said, we ran ads and we couldn't get any musicians, we couldn't get anybody to play and come. And he said, well, you have to go out and ask them. So he got in his old beat up truck and pickup truck and drove all over Stone County, knocking on doors of people he knew. And they said, oh yeah, we'll come, we'll come. And so that's how they put on the second folk festival, and it was a huge hit. So the chamber decided this might be something we should do all the time. So Wilbur said, okay. He said, Mr. Driftwood, how much money are we talking about? And he said, well, I don't know, but maybe 35 or $40 million. And they said, well, what do you want all that for? So he started telling, what his vision was to build a folk center where the crafts and the arts and the music would all be preserved and people would come. But if they come to Mountain View, there's no place for them to stay, there's no place for them to eat. We don't have adequate facilities anywhere. And there's not enough power, electricity. We'll burn the lines down if we start trying to bring all these motor homes in and stuff. He said, it won't work. So anyhow, they said, well, this is all in one meeting, mind you. We could probably give you about 25 million. And they did. And so he came back and the chamber said, well, did we get the money? And he said, well, we didn't get what we asked for. And they went, oh no. And he goes, well, we ended up with $25 million. And so that's how the folk center got built in the city of Mountain View. Got a total facelift and renovation. Well, Jimmy also loved the Southwest. He loved the Southwest. And so he wrote this little song about yearlings. Jimmy?
Okay, and this song's about traveling by oxen, so it's going to be slow. In the key of A. Yanks took our corn, and the Rebs took our cotton. The banks took our land, and the tax took our home. We yoked up our oxen, loaded our wagons, drove for yearlings we started to roam. Long little yearlings were rolling, don't stay, 'cause we wagon and all. And old Alabama, we lost our first wagon, thanks to the good Lord we only lost one.
Argenta, which means the Silver City, and because they did find silver in North Little Rock, and it was short-lived, didn't last long. If you go to City Hall, the doorknobs all say the City of Argenta. It's still there from 1904. Well, North Little Rock was a rough and rowdy place because the riverboats landed on that side of the river. On the Little Rock side of the river, the bank's too high unless the river was at flood. So the riverboats were all down low, and they had lots of questionable places. And so Janet likes to sing these questionable songs. Janet?
I didn't think about that when I.
Pay no attention to that noise. All right, there we go.
Oh, I didn't think about both of them being questionable, but anyway, I guess I like off-the-wall stuff that nobody else does. This is called The Maid of Argenta, and I've been told that this was the last song that Jimmy recorded. And so it's kind of cute and kind of typical, too. And then a man kind of got took by a woman that was after his money. And this is in the key of G, guys. A cowboy rode into the streets of Argenta. He spied a young maiden all dressed in magenta. The fighters who knew her called her Lolita. She was a beautiful thing. He sprang his horse and he walked up beside her. Said, "Where could we get some more whiskey and cider?" They walked down the street to a place called the Spider. He turned his cart into
songs are based upon events that actually happened. So maybe that was a legend that made it all the way to Mountain View. Who knows? Well, he also recorded several interesting albums. He recorded a sea album about sailors and so forth, and then he recorded an album about the West and going west. And it had another huge hit record. It went gold. And he had lots of gold records albums, actually. And this one is usually done by my good friend, Charlotte Copeland, who's not with us tonight. She's suffering with a little,
Bug.
yeah, I'm not going to say COVID. She's not feeling good. Anyhow, so if you're watching, Charlotte, this is your song. And I promised Tim at the Dulcimer shop that I'd do a commercial. This is a very nice dulcimer that he built, and this is its debut tonight. So you need to visit the Dulcimer shop if you haven't done that. By the way, the Dulcimer shop was originally where, do you know?
Argentina.
No.
That's
No,
the president was.
you would never guess where it was. You don't know? Close to Memphis. Forest City. Can you believe that? And they packed up and came here back in the 60s. And fortunately, they located on the corner there where you turn to go to the folk center, and everybody had to drive right by it. So that helped a whole lot. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna do a little song, y'all help out, called Wilderness Road. Like I say, it was one of his gold record albums. I once had a fortune and a place of home, but I gave it away on a wilderness road. When I couldn't pay all the debts that I owed, I started to traveling on the wilderness road. On the wilderness road. On the wilderness road. I've been traveling a long, long time on the wilderness road. High over the mountain, through the beautiful bed, I counted the cabins on the Buffalo Trail. I crossed the Kentucky and the Tennessee, across the Big Muddy and the Low Prairie, on the wilderness road, on the wilderness road. I've been traveling a long, long time on the wilderness road. I know all the people way back in the hills. I prayed in their graveyard. I come from their still. I heard all their blessings. I heard all their wrongs. In their wonderful stories and a beautiful song. On the wilderness road. On the wilderness road. I've been traveling a long, long time on the wilderness road. They planted their gardens by the beautiful stream, and they planted their fathers in the land of their dream. With pure inspiration, they carried their load, and they planted a nation on the wilderness road. On the wilderness road. On the wilderness road. I've been traveling a long, long time on the wilderness road.
and sing. Well, I call my dog and I'll pack my gun and prep my travel clothes, and I'll make my way to the setting sun, to the land where the bluegrass grows. I'll be in luck when I hunt the buck where the crystal water flows. I'll live and die by the old Kentucky, in the land where the bluegrass grows. I had some pretty gal on my lap with my wagon bones, and I'll make my way to the Cumberland Gap, to the land where the bluegrass grows. I'll be in luck when I hunt the buck where the crystal water flows. I'll live and die by the old Kentucky, in the land where the bluegrass grows. I'll hunt the bear and I'll hunt the boar when my heart gets gay and light. I'll always be near my cabin door when the stars come out at night. I'll be in luck when I hunt the buck where the crystal water flows. I'll live and die by the old Kentucky, the land where the bluegrass I'll say my prayers on the land of boom, but before I take my toes, I'll kiss my love by the light of the moon in the wind where the bluegrass grows. I'll be in luck when I hunt the buck where the crystal water flows. I'll live and die by the old
They said, Jimmy, you need to go to Nashville and talk to those folks at the Grand Ole Opry. You know, you got so many great songs, and so he went. Well, the head of Grand Ole Opry was none other than Chet Atkins at the time. And so they met on a Saturday afternoon for hours and hours, he and his wife, Cleta, and he played lots and lots of songs. He played everything that he knew. And they said, well, those are all good and fine, but don't you have anything else? He goes, well, the only thing I have is one little song, you know, that I wrote a long time ago. And of course, that was the Battle of New Orleans. And they said, you know, that song could be a hit. And that's what launched his career. Almost left Nashville without any opportunity at all. So, but he had a wonderful, wonderful career. Like I say, he watched and took from people the things that he saw, and one of them is coming up now, Barefoot Redhead Boy.
It was written by Asa Martin,
Oh,
and it's called The Barefoot Boy with Boots On.
did he steal that from Jimmy Driftwood?
I don't know, but he probably sang it. I learned it from others that are folk singers, and it's really popular around Mountain View, and so this is a song that's full of oxymoron. By the way, do you all believe everything that lawyers say? I heard my name mentioned a while ago in that song, and that's just not true. And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. All right, this is in the key of D, all right? The night was dark and cloudy, and the moon was shining bright. The stars were casting burning rays on a stormy rain that night. Lightning struck the outfit and took out all shoes and guns. The moonlight set the prairie on fire in the middle of the woods. Oh, a barefoot boy with boots on came a-shuffling down the street. His pants were full of pockets and his boots were full of fruit. He was born when he was a baby in grandma's rocking floor. His only sister was a girl and his brother was a boy. He never was a triplet, but he always was good. His legs were fastened to his knees, he jumped along his head, and his feet were full of. He never was youngest was the baby, but the oldest was the first. The good one was the bad one, but the bad one was the worst. And they never knew their ages, no, they never knew their. But they knew they had a birthday, 'cause it came around once a year. The youngest was the baby, but the oldest was the first. The good one was the bad one, but the bad one was the worst. And they never knew their ages, no, they never knew their. But they knew they had a birthday mile, they came around every year. They never knew their father's age, but they always had money. That he was born before their time, was the oldest of the bunch. And when they died, they could not speak, though their names they could not tell. The girl all went to heaven, and the boys all went to Little Rock. The organ peeled potatoes, Lark was Richard White. When the parson ran in his rags, someone set the church on fire. Holy smokes! Richard shouted as he madly tore his hair. Now his head bleeds in most heaven, for there'll be no more need there.
Thank you, Larry. Well, Jimmy didn't write it, he should have.
Here they are again, the Pulaski County Racquetball Society.
I was going to tell you about Jimmy Driftwood's entrance to the film industry. He wrote a song and it went #1 in the United States. I mean, it just went all the way to the top. Well, The song is what a lot of his songs are. They tell stories. It's just called a story song, and there's a storyline in it. And so the storyline is so clear, and the characters are all defined in the song. People in Hollywood liked it. And somebody was a writer in Hollywood and said, you know, I could take that song, and out of that little 45 record, I can write a whole movie script out of that. And so he did. And it had famous casts. I mean, it starred John Wayne, Marilyn Monroe, Sal Mineo. You may not remember him, but I do. And
Telling your age.
there was, I am old, I'm happy. Anyhow, it had just a long cavalcade of big time movie stars, and they put all these people into it. Well, we go along and people said, oh, he didn't write that song because he didn't sing it in the movie. Because it goes throughout the movie. But you know, Hollywood never lies. Did you know that? And so when you come to the end of the movie and they're rolling those little credits up and they're about this long, all of a sudden this big, letters this high, comes up on the screen and it says, music and words by Jimmy Driftwood of Timbo, Arkansas. Timbo's just out here on the highway. That's where his ranch was. Anyhow, the song is none other than North to Alaska.
All right. Big Sam left Seattle in the year of '92 with George Pratt as partner and brother Billy too. They crossed the Yukon River and found the bananas growing below that old white mountain just a little south of Stone. Sam crossed the majestic mountains, valleys far below. He talked to his team of huskies as he mushed on the snow. The northern lights running wild in the land of the midnight sun. Big Sam McCord was a mighty man, year of 1901. Where the river is wide and big doggies they're finding. North to Alaska, go north, the precious home. North to Alaska, we're going north, the precious home. George turned to Sam with his bow in his hand. He said, Sam, you're looking at a lonely old man. I trade all the gold that's buried in this land. Once the man goes, he supposed me empty his hand. The man needs a woman to love him all the time. Remember, Sam, a true love is so hard to find. I live for my Jimmy, a big little home. You know that old white mountain just a bit southeast of the river is wide, big doggies they're finding. North to Alaska, go north, precious home. North to Alaska, go north, precious home.
All right, Rick, thank you. By the way, whatever cable search you use or TV search you use, you know, Fire Stick or whatever, if you'll do a search for North to Alaska, you can watch that movie. It's still a great, great, great movie.
It don't grill a whole lot down in central Arkansas.
Do what?
It's on the river.
On Grit Station a lot?
Yeah, and there's a billboard, Janet said that outside of Alaska, saying Jimmy Driftwood
Wrote
that.
it, yeah. Well, one reason they say he didn't write it is because he didn't sing it But not only did he not sing it in the movie, he gave the song for free to his friend who sang it in the movie. He said, they're going to do I need a song, Jimmy. I don't have any songs. I can't find a song. He said, oh, I got one I just wrote. He played it, sang it for me. He said, oh, I'd love to buy that from you. He said, oh, no. You can just have it. You can just have
He
it.
got rich.
They have Tennessee stuff.
Yes. But
He offered it for free.
he did. All right. We have back here in the hole in the ground. You shrunk, Eric. You got shorter. Eric is going to play for you a great song called Blackberry Blossom. Well, behind me somewhere there he's coming. Steve Harbour is going to sing a beautiful song called Lamplighter.
Yes, this is not a Jimmy Driftwood song either, but I learned this song after we started coming up here, so it's one of the kind of old time songs. It's her Lamplighting Time in the Valley in the key of G. There's a light shining bright in a canyon, and I know that it's shining for me, and I go and my Lord is waiting for the boy she is longing to see. When it's lamplighting time in the valley,
fun to see how many people can we put on the stage before we fall off. And this next couple over here, they go together. They've been dating a long time. Oh, she does. Well, I'm just talking about you. This couple, they've been dating a long time, and we're going to come back to them in a little while and hear them sing and play. But before we do that, Denise has a beautiful song. That's our fiddle player back here behind me. And she's going to play Where the White Lilies Grow. I think it's one of the most beautiful pieces. All right, Denise. Mentioned before, this couple over here, they even live together.
In holy matrimony.
And holy matrimony. And they have with them, they brought a friend with them, and he's going to do a little bit of dancing for us as well. No, you, this mic.
And do June Apple and D.
I think we've known each other, what, 20 years, maybe, something like that? We've been playing Dawson together a long time.
And he still doesn't know her name.
It's because I nicknamed her Rita Mae. That's not her real name. But anyhow, we've got a fella coming up here, and our fiddle player has seen the light, and she has crossed over
Dark side.
from the dark side. And she too has a gorgeous, brand new You never know what's going to happen. That's what happens with
It's really tight up here, y'all.
live TV. Yeah, very tight. Anyhow, Steve is her husband. They also go together, and he has recently just discovered the harmonica, and he is making his worldwide debut tonight here on this stage. And his wife is going to play with him.
Well, I have calluses on the tips of my fingers from fiddling, but this weekend I've acquired a very nice blister on the side of my thumb.
We played a lot of music this weekend, haven't we?
Yeah,
I'll give you 4 counts.
okay, everybody help us.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wonderful. Well, y'all be watching. His CDs will be available next time.
3% interest too.
Absolutely. Well, Gene,
I got a song. I first heard this song on a CD or actually it was a cassette. That's how long ago it was. My group named Harmony, y'all may be familiar with here in Mountain View. It's a song by a wonderful singer-songwriter named Kate Wolf. And about the time I heard it, was about the time she died. Her life was tragically cut short by, I believe it was leukemia. She was a wonderful poet and songwriter. And this song is called Give Yourself to Love. It's in C. Our friends all gathered around. Something I would say. What brings us together here is bless us all like a circle that holds us all inside. Strangers like family, loneliness can hide. You must give yourself to love. Love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I've walked these mountains in the rain, learned to love the wind. I've been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. Always knew I'd find you, but I never did know how. Like sunshine on a cloudy day, you stand before me. You must give yourself to love. Love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is born in fire, swinging like a sea. Love can't give you everything, but it'll give you what you need. Love comes when you're ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It'll be the greatest teacher, this friend that you have. Give yourself to love. Love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Give yourself to love.
Thank you, Gene. Very nice. You know, as long as I've known Gene, he's one of the few people, no offense to the rest of you all, I know it gets really dangerous when you do that, but I don't think I've ever heard you mess up your lyrics in any song.
He's not old yet. That's what it is.
I didn't want to say that before you play. I've never heard him stumble through lyrics. If he has, he's correct.
Oh, no, you
I didn't
remember I
know.
forgot the lyrics to Amazing Grace, remember
Oh,
that?
that's true.
Amazing
Oh,
Grace.
yeah, that's really
that's a
bad.
tough
That is
song.
really bad.
That's
I've
really
only
bad.
sung it 70,000 times.
Well, Janet,
Yes, sir.
tell us about the times before cell phones and TV.
Well,
was a time.
people listen to the radio and sit around on the, gathered around the radio, and at our house we watched it like we had to sit in front of it. So anyway, this is an old song. I like old time gospel music too. This is Turn Your Radio On in G. I'm gonna have a little help from my friend Jim Munns over here. Come and listen to the radio station where the mighty hosts of heaven sing. Radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Hear songs of Zion come from the land of endless spring. Get that good God. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Listen to the radio on. Turn your radio on. And so we share.
songs from the Singing Spear family. Growing
yeah.
up, turn the radio on.
Sure.
Well, this is a singing Raggensack family. You guys are pretty good.
We did Arkansas Travel?
Yeah.
Okay. Key of D, Arkansas Travel.
Song that little lumberjack can dance to?
We do. Black Mountain Rag and D.
All right. John. Steve,
Yes.
did you know somebody named Maggie when you were younger?
No, I did not. My wife's named Martha, and I thought about changing that.
When you and I were young, Martha. Yeah, well, that would
That'd
work.
be a good idea.
That might be a smart idea.
Well, this song is a true love song,
Yeah.
and it was written in 1866, I understand.
I bet Megan's dead.
Maggie is probably dead.
You remember that, Jim? Did you know her?
My memory is dangerous.
I believe that.
When you and I.
When you and I